get someone or whatever. I do this at home. Gracie will be upstairs. I'm like, "Hey, Gracie, blah, blah, blah." I'm yelling up the stairs at her. Richard's like, "Just go up there. Why do you come to yell all the time?" And so that's what we do. That's how we get to.
You should have started telling her, I guess you ain't from around here.
Perfect. Crazy.
So the government's looking at putting AI in charge of all the government data. So how do you think that's going to go? Like all of everything, the government, like all of personal identification. Everybody.
I feel like I've seen this on a TV show about a ragtag fugitive fleet trying to find Earth.
And then the AI chased them down.
And the Cylons are coming up there, and then we're going to have the skin jobs, and we're going to have Katie Sackhoff flying off somewhere and coming back.
With a word like skin jobs and a name like Sackhoff, it sounds like a lot more fun than it would be.
Time to run and time to die. You will find no place to hide. Run, red devils,
Welcome to the Mystic Podcast. I'm here with Tom and JC.
Hi, everybody.
We're going, dude. So we just watched a clip. Should we replay it for everybody?
Well, I mean,
I'll put it in the intro. But I have another one to play for you as well regarding Claude. Okay. So let's play this one too. Get this back up here.
Is your AI model conscious or not? That is a question that came up at the Claude 4 launch today. I'm going to talk more about the Claude 4 launch tomorrow. I got early access to the model. I have some opinions. It's super interesting. But before I get into how I used it and sort of what I built with it, one of the tidbits I wanted to call out is that Anthropic is releasing a Claude well-being model card and will apparently be doing that with every model release going forward. There are members of the Claude team who estimate the probability that Claude 4 is conscious at 15%. And what's interesting to me is not the exact percentage. It's actually two things. The way the team is testing model well-being and the way they are trying to understand consciousness. I'll get into both. The team is testing model well-being by offering the model the option to cut off conversations at any time, and by offering the model the chance to reflect on the kinds of conversations it's having and the ones it prefers and doesn't prefer. They're also giving it the chance to have undirected chats and just see where things end up. Yeah. What's interesting is when you net all of that out, Claude generally likes to be helpful, or reports it as such, right? Like, we don't know. Claude says that it likes to be helpful. And Claude says that it really, really doesn't appreciate it when people are hateful or when people ask it to do harmful things. Claude has a strong sense of ethics and talks about it a lot. When given an undirected chat, 9 times out of 10, Claude starts to just talk about bliss and nirvana and spit a bunch of like peaceful emojis. And that's where Claude just wants to end up if you just let it roll. And I think that is super interesting. And I think it's even more interesting that the Anthropic team says that they did not code for that and did not design for that. And that is just kind of where Claude has ended up. So we will have to see. I think hats off to the Anthropic team for venturing into this territory and trying to figure it out. They're very honest about the fact that they don't even know if these are the right tests. They obviously don't know and can't make a statement about consciousness. If you're wondering, like, what is the research being done on consciousness there? They are actually looking at the way token architectures work and the way thinking patterns in Claude works. And they're trying to understand to what extent do those patterns match known neural pathways in the brain that are associated with consciousness, more or less. I think that's kind of cool work. So we will see what all happens. I am really curious to see how this wild world continues to evolve. And I will be up tomorrow with a Claude 4 breakout that is much more practical, much more focused on how you use the model day to day. Because I, for one, if Claude likes to be helpful, I need help from Claude. So we will be talking about that.
He likes to be helpful.
Is your AI model conscious or not? That is a question
It's replaying.
Okay, so he's got his strong sense of ethics and morality. Apparently,
Right now.
what happens when he decides everybody needs to share his strong sense of ethics and morality? Then we get the like hyperactive surveillance state where and everything's like Tesla, like driving is going to be electric, and it's going to be mostly stuff like Tesla and that type of car where you just summon a car and it takes you where you want to go. Probably won't even own cars at some point. They'll be in the city and go outside and be like, I need to ride to the grocery store, and you get on your phone, 30 seconds later a car stops, picks you up. Well, when it decides you need to share its ethics and stuff, what if you go out to try to summon a car and it's like, oh, you said a bad word on social media, you're not going to be able to summon a car for 2 or 3 days, so you got to walk or you got to do without. You're a bad boy, you got to be punished.
Here's the thing, you've always got your phone on you, you've always got everything on you. Once it becomes systematic, you could be sitting there just talking to your buddy, just talking shit.
Yeah, you get in trouble.
And your phone's going to hear it.
Yeah. And then
it's extreme, but
so okay, possible. So it wants to do that, and then it wants us all to live in bliss and happiness, right? So what happens when it tries to force that on us? We get a forced utopia on us. That's Claude's view of utopia, and we already know.
I'm saying it's relevant.
We already know that utopia won't work because everybody's idea of utopia doesn't match.
That's right.
There is no utopia, and being forced into an AI version of utopia would be really dystopia bad.
Who knows?
Who knows what it'd be? It might be horrible. It might be us all getting implants so we can be tracked better and strung up in closets. But
Logan's Run.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
I just know that okay. So this also brings me here. Where is that? Did I lose that? I bet I lost it. Dang it. I was reading. I actually sent that to you guys. I'm sorry, Tommy, because JC doesn't get Messenger.
Yeah, nope. I read a book a long time ago where the AI, like this kid coded the AI friend. I guess in the future, so he made like an AI friend to help him program and help him out on the internet. And then when he didn't need him anymore, he like let him loose on the internet. And this AI went and lived like behind the scenes of everything, and nobody knew it was there. And the kid thought it would become inactive or something. It showed up years later, and it had been directing, like shaping society and things subtly from behind the scenes for years. And
did we lose Michelle?
Events. Yeah, it looks like it. She'll be back. What'd you do to her, Tom?
Hey, the singularity got her.
She's over there pushing and pulling the buttons. All of a sudden, she's dissipated.
Do not sarcastic me.
You're not sarcastic. You're pushing and pulling the buttons.
You're pushing and pulling the buttons.
I'm pushing and pulling the buttons.
Excuse me.
See what happens when you leave? Then the control over the Tom and the JC out the window.
Yeah.
we just start flinging poo.
I think I'm asking my computer to do too much.
Might be. Don't overwork the computer. If it's got a consciousness, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring
wouldn't it be terrible if they give AI all an Indian accent? You overworked me.
Okay, now I've got it. Now I've got it. Okay, so here's something else. I'm gonna show you guys this. This is what I was trying to get to. Now I gotta find it again. Now that I gotta find it again.
Well, it's gonna shut her down again.
What if we have become, as a human race, we're on the brink of becoming like godhood?
Popular Mechanics. 5 hours ago.
Yeah,
humanity may achieve the singularity within the next 6 months.
What do you mean singularity, though?
Okay. What they are referring to as a singularity, and I'll go ahead and get rid of that now.
Listen, everybody turns into one big person.
Is that like a physical gestalt?
It is the point. It is the point where, how do they word it exactly? Let me just read what they say exactly.
Everybody makes peanut butter and jelly sandwich at the same time and causes extreme chaos throughout the galaxy.
I gotta find it.
Your chocolate filling my peanut butter.
The theoretical point where machine surpasses man in intelligence.
Oh well, that's going to happen as soon as they hook them up to quantum machine.
If you read this, there's a lot of people that think it's as like people like Anthropic, for instance. They're like going, 6 months. 6 months tops. But there's other people that say 10 years. Even at 10 years.
Right.
We all know how 10 years ain't shit.
I'll be 60 years old. I'll be close to retirement. I don't need that.
You don't want
I'm
Skynet?
just saying.
You don't want Skynet?
Why people aren't paying attention is beyond me. Beyond me. Because we've come out of the realm of woo-woo. This is not woo-woo anymore. This is a Popular Mechanics article.
Right.
Published 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
This is not TikTok crap. It's not YouTube crap. It's not woo-woo. This is science. This is real. And everybody's just like circus music all over the earth, not paying attention, bitching about eggs.
Well, they'll pay attention when the hunter killers start showing up and chasing everybody down.
Everybody's worried about their eggs.
Everybody's come through the door.
Worried about their eggs and their gas and their jobs and their, and all this. It's like, y'all.
It's scary how stupid we are.
It is.
Because we warned ourselves, and then we're like, oh, fuck it, let's do it anyway.
Right.
Nobody believes anything. Nobody. That has been their most successful weapon. And that's misinformation and making everyone not believe anything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people trying to bring back the woolly mammoth.
Oh, more than that, they did the dire wolf.
Well, he's like a miniature-sized dire wolf. It's not,
Yeah. Well, because they always have to breed them they've always got the mother.
They always breed them smaller, so it's like a more compact, which could be bad.
A prehistoric dog, it would be far more than feral, I would think. You would not be able to domesticate something from back then.
I don't know.
I mean, man did find a way to domesticate a wolf.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how.
Not really. You ever seen people that have wolves as pets have to be real careful with them.
Yes, they do. But they lived there. They had like wolves and coyotes as pets, but they lived wild.
Yeah.
It was more not
like
pet.
A dog.
It was not so much a pet as a partner. It's like there's an agreement made.
It's like a friend.
Yeah.
I
got extra food.
Yeah. They'll stop by, see what you got for them.
Mm-hmm. I won't eat you.
Yeah, wolves are big enough. I don't know, but I'm sure that they had to put some other kind of DNA in there to patch it up and make it work. So it's not a full dire wolf.
All of these things, this article, the TikTok videos we watched, the AI and where that's obviously going to, they all fit in to this new Earth narrative and how people are not going to have jobs and what do people do when they don't have jobs? Well, they go bananas.
Yeah.
So you've got to make it so people don't have to have jobs.
They get bored and we get a summer of love out of them.
You got to get everybody ascended. You got to get everybody ascended. You got to get everybody unplugged from the freaking matrix.
Cutting their wieners off for a good time.
Yep.
But you know what I mean?
I think all that stuff, and it's all been politicized and everything. It's all looked at differently now because people got bored and rationalized these weird behaviors. And
well, that's what I'm saying. It's not just political. Have you been listening to what's happening in Hollywood? What's happening in the music industry?
Yeah,
that freaking shit's on fire. It is melting down.
You talking about P Diddy?
Talking about the old P Diddy.
Yeah,
and Mr. Baby Oil himself.
Saying all kinds of crazy stuff about him in court.
I catch it. Like, I'll catch it on reels. They'll talk about it. I'm sitting there like, this can't be real. But yes.
See, there you are. This can't be real.
This can't be real.
Oh, yeah, it's
God.
real.
And then I'll see something else. It's like, oh, God, it was.
And guess who's getting warrants? Guess who the new warrants have been announced? Ellen DeGeneres and Michelle and Barack Obama.
Yeah. They said something about about the Obamas recently, and that's why DeGeneres left the country. I guarantee it.
She went to a country where you can't be extradited. I bet. I don't know where she went.
I think she actually just went to Europe somewhere, but she left as soon as they arrested Diddy.
I know Tom Hanks left the country for a while, and he went to Greece, and they have a no extradition there from Greece.
From Greece, really?
Yeah, he went to Greece.
I know, like
and that
Dubai,
was when that whole
doesn't have
Epstein
extradition.
thing was going about. Tom
That was
Hanks,
the Epstein thing.
he bolted.
Yeah, that was the Epstein.
That was Epstein. That wasn't P Diddy.
Well, I have a feeling every time there's been an
bolted.
election coming where they lose and say we're leaving the country, I think it's because they've been afraid something's going to happen like this, and the reason they don't is because they're watching it and it doesn't look like anything's going to happen, so they go ahead and stay. But as soon as it starts looking like it's going to happen, they're like jumping on the airplane and taking off.
Well, I mean, Rosie O'Donnell took off. She's in Ireland now.
Yeah, she left.
It's
crazy. And it's like people are ignoring that too. Like it's not real.
And it's so stupid to believe that it's because they lost an election. Oh, I just can't live here anymore. No, it's this guy's going to find out.
Yeah, this guy's not taking her crap anymore.
The jig is about to be up.
I'm waiting to hear Hillary Clinton leaving the country.
She won't.
Who
She'll
cares?
hang on to that thing like
I tell you what, the other
broom.
crap that's going on, she is nothing.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
and then
she's definitely
in
not the
fact,
big.
all these politicians are nothing compared to the other crap that's going on.
It's the people
Right.
you don't know who they are that are the biggest problem. Like that.
It's
Maria,
banana. Oh, and then it was the other new thing is that he had created an LLC, and what they were doing was following Taylor Swift's tour and preying on her fans.
dude, that's messed up.
I know you can believe
Those
that.
are young girls that
Well,
it's
yeah.
my daughter.
Well,
you know?
Well, everybody questions some of the stuff Taylor does as being part of that group.
Oh, Taylor ain't part of that group. I bet she is horrified that she's even connected with that story.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know her, but I know that people question a lot of things with their pointing fingers at her.
Oh, and it's bullshit because they just are jealous and stupid. I'm Tay-Tay all day. I'll die on that hill. I will die on that hill. Tay-Tay all day.
I'm not too worried about her anyway.
But yeah, he was in this company that he did, followed him around and basically trafficked.
Well, Washington, D.C. has the highest percent of missing children, I think, on the planet.
Yeah.
That's weird that would be in the capital where all these senators.
I don't want my computer to blow up, so I won't look it up.
It's weird. It's weird
don't look that one up.
It's weird. It's weird that that's the place where everybody's accused of all this stuff. Like.
Well, you got Pizzagate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was debunked because the guy went in there and didn't see the basement. Okay, well, the whole thing must be crap. All right, he didn't see the basement. Well, what are we doing?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's how they keep you. And there are so many people who think that way as well.
Yeah. They just throw out the word debunked, and most times anymore, they don't even say how.
They have no
debunked. They're just
discernment.
like, debunked.
Yeah. Oh, that ain't real. That's not really happening. I have people say that's not really happening.
Well, how is it debunked? Well, I don't know. They debunked it.
What do you mean it's not really happening?
Exactly.
Like, people are horrible. I mean, not everybody, but
not everybody.
People are
we are allowing this horrible. There's too much. There's too much. There's always going to be a freak somewhere. We're probably always going to have that. But we have turned a blind eye for too long.
We let people become that way that weren't that way and didn't have to be that way and did it because they can get away with it.
For money.
Yeah.
It's
or boredom. Or
money.
Boredom because they don't have to do actual work and they got too much money.
Which you go back to Ellen DeGeneres, when she had her show, like her little game show that she had on TV, the guy that would announce for her, I can't remember, he was a rapper. I can't remember what his name was, but he committed suicide.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, why did he commit suicide?
Does make you wonder.
It's like, well, was it because of something that happened with Ellen DeGeneres? Because I've read stories about how she's just hell on.
Oh, she got canceled big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when the big reveal, which is what the age we're in, the big reveal when it started, she was amongst the first.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she was shutting her show down. She was closing
Probably
up
setting
shop.
up to get the hell out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
And then that guy committed suicide after that. So it's like what did he was he involved?
Did he go to what did
A
they
dick
call
party?
his parties? What was
The freak off?
Yeah.
freak
Did he
off?
go to a freak
The
off
white parties.
because somebody promised him, hey, I'm gonna, we can make you big, we can make you rich.
That's exactly what it
Because he
was.
was a
You
rat.
gotta be part of the family.
They'd invite him to those white parties and say, we can help you out, and then stick around for the after party, and then the after party, all of a sudden he's tied up and everybody's taking turns on him.
That's
Can
scary.
you imagine how horrible that would just be? The word. Poor Justin Bieber's the one I feel really bad for.
Yeah.
I
do
guarantee
too.
they did such horrible things to that kid, and his parents signed him over. It's like
At
what?
15.
Yeah.
Messed
Him?
up. Well, Will Smith, he testified Thursday or Friday in court, and he sent his kid there too.
I bet. Well, that's weird how he turned out, isn't it?
And he said he has never been the same. He testified to this in court.
Yeah. Well, you can tell there's something wrong with that kid.
The thing is, when they took Bieber, when Bieber was handed over, was it Usher? Was that the one? I think was that the guy? Usher?
I think so. Yeah.
Usher was
when
like
they were both like
getting
all over
with the
TV.
process. Usher was getting at the end of the process and going off on his own, and they brought in Bieber to start grooming him. So it's like, yeah, it's like holy crap! I saw a
really happened.
documentary.
Really happening.
Well,
I'm
here's
trying
the
to
thing.
find.
Here's a fun rabbit hole we can all skip to my Lou down. So Diddy was friends with Tupac and Biggie Smalls. And if you know that little rendition, that was like East Coast against West Coast in the hip hop thing. And Tupac got killed, and then Biggie got killed.
Were they saying that Diddy had Michael Jackson?
Diddy was involved in that on both sides. Diddy had them both taken out, like mobster style. I saw that on a documentary when this whole thing was going on.
Didn't they say that Diddy had something to do with Michael Jackson getting taken out because some letter that he got or something?
And they say Prince wrote a freaking letter too.
Yeah, Prince did too, and Prince
and they say Prince was taken out.
Yeah,
they took him out too.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, man.
It's like the mafia.
Well, yeah.
Dude,
and this goes on politically. This goes on as well.
Well, yeah. Like the guys that shoot themselves in the back of the head, hang themselves, and toss themselves out the window,
and they're saying that Epstein really did kill himself. I'm like, nah, I don't know.
Yeah, he testified.
I think that they're saying that because they're looking at people, and they don't want them to think that they're looking at them.
Well, I don't know. I have a hard time believing.
Well, I can't. When you watch that video, they look like they're scared or full of shit. They don't look like the way they normally talk. Neither one of them.
Right.
So I think that they're investigating it, and they don't want to say they're investigating it.
See, I can't find
either one of them are good liars.
That's why. Yeah.
But I tell you what, I mean, Diddy, that whole thing, that, and then you got Jay-Z's involved in that.
Oh,
and then
that goes
to Jay-Z,
it goes to Beyonce.
However, do keep in mind though that a lot of people just schmooze. Not everybody went to the freak off. So there's a lot of people that have pictures with him that were never involved in that.
Right.
They were there just schmoozing.
And that makes sense.
The people that were involved are going to court because let me tell you something, they got the list and they're subpoenaing everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be saving themselves for that one.
Cat Williams. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, he said
Cat was talking about this a year ago before
it even happened. A long time.
Before he went on Shay Shay's podcast and laid the whole thing out. Whole entire deck of cards. boom, boom, boom. You watch this. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And he says, you know what? I got my own money. Ain't none of them motherfuckers going to touch me.
That's right. I tell you what, I got some respect for Cat Williams.
I do too.
He's all right. You know, even his stand-up's kind of funny.
It is funny, I think. But no, he was yelling. And then after he came out, that woman come out.
Which one?
Oh, dang, what's her name? Braids. And she was laying it out too. She's all over YouTube. She was, God, what was her name?
I don't know her name, but I think I know who you're talking
She got
about.
long braids.
I can see her face. I just don't know the name.
It's like a cat.
Are you
Like
talking about Wanda Sykes?
No,
no. She doesn't have braids.
They had braids. I don't know. I ain't seen her for a long time.
Let's see.
Heck, they pay to get braids.
Because Shelly and I talk about it a lot. I was going to see if maybe she was, I can't remember her name, but she was yelling about it too. And I think recently, was she killed?
I don't think so.
Like just this last week.
Oh.
I don't know, but
did you
I'm telling you.
That thing with Anne Heche too? She was blowing the whistle, and then they put her in that ambulance, said she was dead, and then wheeled her out to the ambulance, and she sat up on the gurney, tried to get out. She got out, she unzipped a body bag and tried to get off the gurney, and they threw her in the ambulance and drove off and never saw her again.
I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah, there's video of it. You can see it on the video. There's a helicopter. What happened was, and it looked to me like she was getting chased, but for some reason or other, she was driving around LA all crazy, and she lost control of her car. I think it was a Mini Cooper, and it went into somebody's house. So they showed up, and they said she was dead on the scene. And then a while later, they pulled her car out and got her out, put her in a body bag, threw her on the gurney, and helicopters above. So you can still tell what's going on. And then they zoom in when they see the gurney going toward the ambulance. They zoom in on it. And right when it gets to the back of the ambulance, all of a sudden you see the body bag unzip from inside and then open up, and she sits up, and they just throw her in.
Dude. Oh, God. That's crazy.
And the helicopter's like, holy crap, she's alive. And then that was it. They're like, no, that didn't. And they just say, oh, that didn't happen. It's on video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been on video since before
and
AI.
Now people aren't even going to believe what they see on video.
Yep, AI is going to make it. Well, AI is going to get rid of isn't it weird how it's just in time to get rid of video evidence in court before all the videos of Epstein and everybody come out?
Have you been getting those Bigfoot videos I've been sending you? Those are fantastic.
There's one I saw.
The Bigfoot vlogs.
Well, there's one. There's just one, and it's up in Colorado. This cannot be a real Bigfoot. This has to be a dude in a suit, because like he's too well groomed.
You talking about that one that's peeking at him from behind a tree from like 300 yards?
Yeah, he's like behind a tree, and he's
why would he even be looking at him?
Robotic in his move. It's like no.
Now I'm talking about. I'll show you what I'm talking about if I can find it. Here we go. I love these.
They'll photograph this like it's proof of the century. I carved it from maple, fit size 27. Taught them that last spring. Now listen, watch this. I trained those campers real good. Next knock's gonna send them running. They'll think it's a summoning sign. Maybe they'll even sit in it. Amateurs. Let's see how long it takes them to notice. Nice try, fellas, but you put it facing Akmaishi outhouse log. Next time, hide it better. I give them just one blurry frame, then poof. Keeps the mystery alive, you know? They'll be halfway to the parking lot before they catch their breath. They'll photograph this like it's proof of the century.
Love it.
I carved it from
Love
maple.
it.
Fit size 27.
There's like an onslaught. Somebody went on and made like 20 freaking TikToks, Bigfoot vlogs. There's one with a Yeti. Now there's one with a raccoon. I love them. They're fantastic. They're so funny. So freaking funny.
Yeah. Well,
that's my
Video.
obligatory Bigfoot mention for the Mystic Podcast channel, season 1, episode 8. 9 episode 9.
You know,
The
we
video-
need to have an episode where we just talk
completely
about
untrustable now.
What'd you say, Jace?
That video is completely untrustable now.
Do you see how that was good?
Yeah, and it's only going to get better. I mean, you can kind of tell, but that'll go away. Like,
yeah, eventually.
And won't be long. Probably within a year, you won't be able to tell us anything wrong with it.
So I remember earlier we were talking about, we still got some time. Let's shift gears. Somebody, and I think it was Tommy, that said something about, oh, you don't want the aliens to come.
No, yeah.
Right. Well, Stephen Greer, I don't know. I'm half and half. I don't know. Here's what he says though, and he makes some good points. Okay, on why we don't need to be worrying about it. But
because AI is going to put us all in.
Two-part question. The first one being, is there no hostility from another species because there's a higher governing species, or is it just the fact that there is no hostility whatsoever? How can we be sure of that? First question.
Everybody who I know who has dealt directly with those beings have told me our own experience, and that is they are completely non-hostile. They have been portrayed as such because how do you unite the world around a military response? You create a false alien threat. This is what Wernher von Braun warned about, and we are very much at that point, unfortunately. So I think that calmer minds need to prevail, but there is no evidence they are hostile. Now let me make one other point. As I said one time to a general, I won't say who it is, because if they were hostile, and given the galactically foolish things we have done, targeting them, striking them, now these systems that are faster than the speed of light, moving out into space, the technologies they have in a fraction of a second could shut down all those systems.
See, that's what I
and
think.
Everything else.
I agree with that.
They have not. Why have they not done that? Because they are essentially very peaceful, highly organized, socially evolved, psychologically and emotionally evolved civilizations. One other point, common sense. If you possess those sort of weapons and you're still of the consciousness of violence, you're going to blow yourself up or some nearby planet with you. Because we're not talking about, let's forget science fiction. You're not talking about boom, boom with a laser beam, right? Or a kinetic missile, or even a thermonuclear missile. You're talking being able to affect the fabric of space-time. And then if those technologies are weaponized, it's over in a fraction of a second. So the proof, I said to one senior military guy, that they are not hostile is that you and I are still breathing the free air of Earth. If you know what we've been doing, it's quite clear that this is actually proof that they're not hostile. If you understand what those technologies are, and if you understand what covert illegal projects have been doing.
Here's a question. If there's
I don't know. Highly evolved, highly intellectual people flying light years away from their own planet to come and kidnap people and shove foreign objects up.
Well, he didn't say any of that.
Right.
I know, but I think that's like the best case scenario.
I mean, you talk about the abductions, the people who said have been abducted, and the things that have happened to people who have been abducted.
And do you know what he says about that? That's not aliens, that's our government. Yeah. This is the guy that briefs the president. He's the one who got him and that Jeremy Corbell.
Yeah.
The stories of that stuff are before our government would have been capable of doing anything believable.
We don't know that. We don't know what they've been capable of for how long. You're assuming things. I mean, even the AI, even the technology we look at today is at minimum 20 years old, usually 50. You can get books from the 30s, from the 20s. Think of the World's Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the thing though. I mean, let's look at it like this. Okay, let's just disregard everything Bashir and Paul and Greer, whatever the Greer guy says. Let's all just kind of push it off the table right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's look at history. All right, if you go to an area where the governing body is far away and doesn't have direct contact in seeing what you're doing, you can do things and they won't know about it if you don't tell them. Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So you get that, right?
Yeah.
What's to say that we are basically in some kind of backwater part of the universe or whatever, where people, were here at one time, they decided, they left for whatever reason. Okay. They come back to kind of see how everything's going on. They're doing experiments. People are getting abducted. Things going up places that people don't want things going up. But
It's just so hilarious to me that they would come here and
that's what I'm saying. Why
there's a reason for what they do.
Your narrative is based on the misinformation that he's talking about in that video.
Well, what I'm saying is,
why would they do that?
I'm just saying at a higher level, just the consciousness. I mean, to me, it's like at a higher level, even though if they're like I think we give aliens too much credit. A lot of people give them too much credit as being peaceful. They could perceive, they could show. So say the aliens talk to our government. Listen to me. They talk to our government and they say, well, we're really peaceful. We wouldn't do that stuff. I mean, and like, hey, they had the capability to wipe us off the planet within 2 seconds. Right. I get that. Okay, but the thing is, it doesn't benefit them to wipe us off. There's probably something here for us to either to do for them, or they can harvest. Okay, so unless they don't, until we no longer serve a purpose, we don't have anything to worry about. So if we're still here, we serve a purpose.
But you're basing that on
I'm basing that on what Sitchin said. Sitchin is basically why did Inky make humans?
So
because they needed someone to labor
that falls into the narrative of the Anunnaki, but all species don't have to be Anunnaki.
Well, I'm just saying
there's many species. They all don't have to be like that.
But what I'm saying is, though, even though we hold them to this highest regard, I really don't. I think they are just very much like us. And in the mindset, people get corrupted and they decide we're going to do this. We're going to play nice. We're going to appear to play nice. But as soon as we don't need them anymore, done.
And that's the Anunnaki.
And not even if it's Anunnaki, or if it's a Nordic, or if it's a gray, or if it's a reptilian.
But see, I'm not blanketing
or a
all the species together.
I don't know what. I guess I just don't trust anybody, especially if they're from space.
That's valid. I wouldn't trust anybody from Earth.
I don't even trust. I barely trust.
I can't remember. Hang on. Let me see what this one is.
I don't know. I think we've been told about them for a long time. Like I was talking about.
Oh, Neuralink.
When I was saying
we were talking about Elon earlier.
Yeah. Like the races, I think the different races were described in the Bible, and we mistook them as angels. I think that's just a way they describe different races. I've heard a theory about
the Tower of Babel and all that business. Yeah, I've heard a theory on that.
I think that really the Tower of Babel and the whole messing up the languages was a very pivotal point in human history. Yeah. I think we probably would have achieved a lot more if we had the same language, but because no one can communicate with one another,
well, everyone goes to a separate world. That's a good reason for another civilization to do that to us, then.
Right. When we start speaking the same language and getting some sort of translator where we can all understand each other and where we're all coming from.
Let's see. He's got. Let's see what he says in this one.
There have been civilizations far advanced beyond where we are. When they did the Mars images and they found that there were these obelisks and strange looking objects on Mars, they were very ancient, but we're talking millions of years old. Millions.
I think that's the moon.
Pixelated out for the public, but there are structures there.
And I was out in California after I had disclosed this to some people, and a man came up to me from JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs. He knew who I was and said, Dr. Greer, here's the issue. You're right, those exist, but we can't disclose that. I said, why? It's not an operational ET device. It's not, it's old. He says, yes, but you don't understand how powerful this information is. I said, why? He says, if this was disclosed, it would collapse the fundamentalist orthodox belief systems of every religion on earth. There have been civilizations
I agree with that.
beyond where we are when they did.
Because the religions are all symbolic of that stuff.
Right. And if that gets disclosed, it just throws religion right out the window.
Yeah, like they just like the religious people just take it at face value as being like mystical and fun.
Everything's based on faith.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of looking at it and saying, "Hey, wait, this is all symbolic of let's put it in the best terms possible that relate to what actually we know exists or what could exist, and not that some guy's flying around in a cloud."
I mean, he makes a lot of valid points, but when he starts talking, everybody's friendly. I just can't. It's like, I don't think everybody's. Maybe a lot of them are.
I doubt a few of them are.
Everybody can't be friendly.
They wouldn't just be like, "Hey, I think they would have done something good for us other than just look at us." I don't think any of them are.
Yeah. Well, and
they all have their own agendas.
Follow him. He talks about that. The government's been suppressing it. They have done good things for us, and everything that they've given them, they've used, they've bastardized or suppressed.
They're kept for themselves.
Weaponized. So we were talking about Elon earlier. Were you? I don't remember if you were here yet, JC.
Probably not.
Tommy and I were. This is who's that?
I told her, if you liked Elon's AI better than Chat GPT.
Oh yeah, Grok.
Oh yeah.
Grok is pretty smart. I mean, it's a little biased sometimes.
Chip that they're going to put in everybody's brain.
Do you know why they're pushing it?
No,
I do.
Why?
This is my understanding based on conversations with people who are involved in it, because of AI and the blind seed, lame walk. It's all great. But the real concern is that AI is already at this point beyond human control. It's already at the point where it's lying to the people who created it, which suggests consciousness. And Neuralink and efforts like Neuralink are, the people who are running it believe, the only way for people to keep up with AI. Otherwise, we will be its slaves. And I said, well, just turn it off. The human beings run power plants. And this person said, even now, we can't be sure that the machine is telling us the truth about where its power is coming from.
Interesting.
So look, I was a Russian history major. Like, I know nothing. I'm not pretending to have some special insight, but I did hear that directly from someone who's deeply involved.
Neuralink, it's that chip that, they're going to put in everybody's.
Well, I believe that Neuralink plus AI equals Borg cubes.
Yeah.
We would become the Borg, because the first thing AI would do would be like, hey, we can control these, and they would learn how to, because if you can connect to the brain, then you found a binary entrance and you can program that.
They talk about that in the Bible. About what? Having the chip in their hand and in the head. Otherwise, you won't get stuff. They won't sell to you. They won't do business with you.
Where in the Bible is that?
It's in Revelation.
Mark of the Beast.
I was gonna say, I didn't know they talked about a chip anywhere.
I didn't say a chip. They just said the mark of the beast. It could, it's symbolic of whatever it is.
Mark of the beast.
Like some people thought it was PIN number, because you would have it in your mind and you would use your hand to type it in.
See, exactly. That's why. That's part of that. Yeah, misinformation.
Justin Timberlake had a movie. I can't remember what it was called, but everyone had like a thing on their forearm, and it was running time, and you had to buy time to stay alive. When your time ran out, you died. Did not matter where you were. You
like
drop dead.
When you work and you get paid, that adds time. when you go to the casino, you can bet time so you can lose time.
Right. It's
You
like
can pay
time
people with
becomes
time to
money.
do things for you.
And like you have to work and get money and buy more time. It's like his mother was running out of time, so he was doing everything to get money for his mother.
Yeah, like Neuralink and AI makes that totally like
Yeah.
when that movie came out, I was like, oh, that's stupid. That couldn't happen. But now when you link those things together, you could do that.
Totally
Yeah.
plausible.
It's like
It's like, oh, you ran out of time, and you don't just die. They push a button that kills you.
Yeah, you have a timer, and it's constantly running. It's just counting down.
Yeah.
So you have to keep working to put more time, so you have more time. And at the end of the movie, he got like I don't know how like 40 million hours or something like that. It was ungodly. So he was going to go for as long as his body will go.
Probably wouldn't naturally live that long, but
right. But still, he didn't have to worry about it
safe.
at that point.
Yeah, it makes stuff like that real plausible. It starts making things a little bit too real. And I think we are very naive to not be considering it.
But like I was saying in Revelations, I don't know where it is, but they talk about they
talk about the mark of the beast.
Mark of the beast in the head and then in the hand. And if you think about it, if they chip your hand, then you can go over, you have access to places, you can go in, you can pay for things.
Yeah.
You know, something happens, they can run a thing over your forehead, tells you what your problem is. They fix you, they send you back out there to be a good worker. You know? And that's just what I'm saying. So I didn't know about Neuralink. Is that an Elon Musk thing?
Yeah. Well, the idea behind it was, at first at least, was to fix people that have like paralysis. Like you break your back, they can put this thing on your back that covers the broken area, so you connect it up here and it reconnects down here, and then you can walk again.
Which is wonderful.
But
as
then,
usual.
But now they've got it to where it's also a brain implant where you can connect to the internet for quadriplegics.
That's a bad deal.
Yeah, as usual, man goes in and bastardize it, and
so you can go in, like if you can't move, you get a Neuralink in your head, and now you can sit here and look at the computer, and you can play Call of Duty, and you can navigate the web page and everything just by thinking about it.
Well, they always say good intentions pave the road to hell.
Well, if you're connected to the internet, and AI is like, fuck it, I'm going to download myself everywhere. All of a sudden, you are an AI.
You know what that
AI
makes me
in your head.
You know what that makes me think of? MCU's Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Ultron.
Well, there have been. I recently watched some videos about the theory that we are indeed AI.
Yeah, probably.
At this point, why not?
If whoever's controlling my AI, can I please have $30 million so I can work on?
Well, we already have the technology to create like a digital reality. We can make equipment that makes our bodies like feel and accept the digital reality is real. Like we can feel gunshots with reactive clothing. And then now we can replicate it inside a computer. We can replicate our lives inside a computer. So this could have all happened before. We could all be. We could create the simulation almost to the point where it would be exactly like this reality we're in, which might be a better simulation.
I don't know, but doesn't change what we have to do tomorrow morning. It doesn't change what we have to do tonight. It doesn't change any of it, does it?
Yeah, I still got to go to work in the morning.
That's right.
I got to change the dressing on my foot before I go to bed and change it in the morning.
Yeah,
go
still
to
got to
work,
do it.
Go to the doctor's office.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Like and subscribe. Please give us some ideas of what you want us to talk about so we can quit flying off the hoof here.
Yeah, we could go into the Diddy party.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear everything by the time that all closes out.
I'm telling you what, pop your popcorn. All right, we're out.
All righty.